And this is, I mean, this is the reason why, we want to talk to, Krista Ramey from RameyLawPC.com, is to get these nuances. The issue I think that Rudy's going to have more than I say, more than Sidney Powell might, is I think actually some of these claims did make it into Sidney Powell's filings. I think if you look at, there were mentions of Dominion voting systems and Venezuelan stuff. Some of that stuff actually did make it into court. The courts threw that out. And so the litigant privilege here might apply to Sidney Powell. The stuff that Rudy was directly working, I mean, and let me explain a little bit further or clarify. Powell did not work directly for the Trump campaign, which is what Rudy was doing. Powell was sort of on her own and kind of sort of allied and then not allied. They kind of distanced themselves from her, but she continued to pursue these on her own. The stuff that Giuliani was doing didn't include those elements. And that, I think, is what Dominion is going to argue, and it has argued in the pleading itself, has argued that shows that he knew that it wasn't supportable, went ahead and did it anyway. The January 6th rally is, I think, a particular point to this, which is that they had already informed him of their intent to file a legal action, asked him to hold all the records relating to these claims that he'd made. When he got up and repeated all these things at the January 6th rally, does that, in a defamation case, that kind of sequence of events, does that make you more likely to be found to have acted with I want to be careful about the term actual malice, because it doesn't necessarily mean what people think it means, but certainly with reckless disregard to the truth.
Well, I think that it does, and Ed, and I think it does because of the context in which it was brought up at the rally. It wasn't brought up that I'm going to be filing this lawsuit in 10 days. It was like, wait till you see all the crap I'm about to release. I mean,
Right.
it was kind of more like a bragging thing. And, he'd been saying things like that for weeks and never released anything that showed any Dominion votes. And they were all hand counted. So, it would just, his logic kind of belied what actually was happening.
Right.
I will note also that Fox News kind of caught on to some of this early on, and was certain hosts were parroting what Giuliani was saying and kind of excited about it. But I think that they have some smarter lawyers that worked for them and said, kind of back off, guys. And so they did back off their claims about Dominion. And so you don't really see Dominion discussed much on Fox News now, and that might have saved Fox from being included in one of these lawsuits.